Let's move into main topic number 3. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Geeky Gator, who writes in, "Hey, John and crew. I was looking at the November slate after Soul moved there and noticed it seems too crowded. We have Black Widow, Soul, Godzilla vs. Kong, Bond, and Clifford the Big Red Dog that I'm not sure anybody's really worried about. All within a few weeks, and many of these films have similar appeal and demographics. Do you think they can all succeed here? Which film do you think is in the most trouble?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And I think for the purpose of this conversation, we're going to narrow it down to 4 films here. Soul, Godzilla vs. Kong, Bond, and Black Widow. All within a few weeks of each other. And while they are not identical films, there is a common demographic, though, I think that will appeal. Soul being the obvious exception. Soul more of a family film and all that kind of stuff. So that might be more of the exception. Do I think they can all succeed? Well, frankly, yes, I think they can. Number one, even under normal circumstances, I think this is a collection of films that could succeed even within there. It's going to be tough, but I think they could succeed anyway. But we're not in normal circumstances. And I think come November, first of all, I think theaters are going to open well before November. But when they do open, we were talking about this the other day, not everybody is going to flood back to the theaters right away, even when they're open again. I think you're going to see a lot of very enthusiastic people getting back to the theaters, but not everybody. But I think by the time November hits, I think a lot of people are going to have their trepidation calm down. I think a lot of people are going to be a lot more up and willing to get back into the theaters, full swing of things. And to have a month like November come along, Rob, I think a lot of people are going to be very excited to get into the theaters. It's going to be a long time since maybe some of them have been in the theaters. It's going to have been a while since we had a big tentpole kind of film in the theaters. And quite frankly, Rob, you alluded to this earlier in the show. I think when November gets here, barring any more unforeseen circumstances, of course. But when November gets here, I think you're about to see a lot of hungry dogs who haven't eaten in 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden a big steak is thrown in front of them. I think that's going to be a lot of us as movie fans.
10 big steaks.
10 big steaks. And I think that's going to be a lot of us as movie fans. So I'll tell you what I do. If any of these films I think might be in trouble, I know you're not going to want to hear this. It's Godzilla versus Kong. I think that if any of them were in trouble, and I think it can do well in November, by the way, but if any of them would be in trouble, I think it's Godzilla versus Kong. Pixar is Pixar. Bond has had a strong showings lately. Marvel, it's an MCU film. What do you want? So I think if any of them are going to be weak. But anyway, Rob, couple of questions here. Number one, do you think these films can all succeed in that month? And if so, if any of them were going to be, let's say, exposed, if any of them were going to be in a little bit of trouble, which of those bunch do you think it would be? How do you see it?
Look, I think as far as Godzilla versus Kong, I think when they drop that trailer, I know I'm going to drop my pants for joy, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, I can't. Maybe that's a bad analogy, John, but I'm very excited. I think the trailer is going to knock people's socks off. At least that's what I'm hoping.
But didn't the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer knock people's socks off too?
Yeah, and I loved it.
Yes, but how did it do?
Movie. It didn't do as well as I would have hoped. But I have a theory about that. But I think that look, I think what's going to happen, there's also going to be a wave of excitement. People are going to want to. I've never dreamt of just going to a restaurant and ordering food. I'm having dreams. I'm having dreams of going to a restaurant and ordering food. You know, Lucky Baldwin's, the Trappist, the pub that's down the street from my house. I could walk my dogs down there, and they have an outdoor patio. They're dog friendly. I love taking the dogs. I haven't been able to go there like in a month. I'd love to. I mean, I think the act of going to the movie theater, I want to walk into the ArcLight or the AMC 16 just to smell the popcorn. You know, I think that when they open theaters, people are going to be so excited to go and sit in a room full of other people and cheer and laugh. I think people are going to go to the movie theaters just to do that. And I think all of the movies are going to benefit. I don't think any of them are necessarily going to lose. I think, like you said, it's going to be more like ravenous dogs going to, like, please, sir, Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have another? Give me another blockbuster. What's opening next week? I want it. I want it. I want it.
Want it.
Like the Who sang. I want it. It's like I want the magic bus for 100 English pounds.
I think I
can't
gotta
wait.
get a T-shirt made of Robert Meyer Burnett's face that says, "When that trailer drops, my pants are gonna drop." I don't know. There's something about that. Hey, now listen. I don't often comment what's going on in the live chat. There's some people in the live chat saying, "Oh, Campy doesn't know what he's talking about. Godzilla's going to kill Bond." What world do you live in? Let's look at the last installments of both franchises, shall we?
Yeah.
Number one,
Uh-oh.
the last James Bond movie, which wasn't even all that good, made $880 million worldwide. Godzilla King of the Monsters didn't make half that. It made 380.
The last Bond movie wasn't even great.
Yeah, no, Spectre wasn't even all that good.
Look at how much Skyfall made.
Yeah, well, and Skyfall it crossed the billion mark, did it not?
Yeah.
Skyfall made over $1 billion. The last one made $880 million. Godzilla King of the Monsters didn't even hit the $400 million mark. I don't see any world right now that Godzilla versus Kong tops the James Bond at the box office. I just don't see any world that happens in. But Rob, there's one thing that could change the tides of this, though. And I think this is important. I think one of the big problems from a financial and marketing perspective that Godzilla King of the Monsters had was they effed the pooch when they decided to drop their trailer at Comic-Con a year before the movie even came out. Because that trailer came out, King of the Monsters trailer came out, and it was awesome and got everybody excited and got everybody buzzing, but they blew their proverbial load way too soon. Because then all that energy, all that hype, all that excitement dissipated as time and months went on. And then by the time the movie came out, I was like, what? Wait, didn't that come out like 6 months ago? It's out now? If they learn their lesson here and say, don't drop the first Godzilla vs. Kong trailer till, say, 11 weeks, 12 weeks before the movie comes out, and you hit hard with a big, pardon the pun, monstrous trailer, and so to the point where now you're going to have a crescendo of that energy and enthusiasm by the time the movie actually opens up in theaters. I still don't think it'll beat Bond, but I think it can easily beat the results of Godzilla King of the Monsters if they market it right. Rob, am I being overly optimistic, or do you think that's how it could be as well?
No, I mean, look, I think you're not being overly optimistic. I think that there was some early notices coming out of a test screening, and the director even tweeted out a picture. Apparently it went very well. And what you want to do is you want to time your marketing campaign to create, basically it's like surfing. You know, you're creating a wave that a surfer or a moviegoer can see coming in and gets ready to catch, starts paddling, and paddles enough to really catch that wave, and you ride it all the way into the shore. Well, that's what movie marketing is like. You drop something, you tease us, you get us to go out there. We've been looking at it in the distance, and then when we finally see that, ooh, it's a big wave, and I'm going to go ride that. I'm going to go catch that wave and ride it. That's what you want, and you want it to be a great ride, and you come into the shoreline completely satisfied and zenned out like Bodhi in Point Break. And then that's what movie going, it's what movie advertising is. It's you want to create that anticipation, the swell, and then give people that experience that delivers. And I think that what you just said about movie marketing, we all know it's coming, so that you're in the water, and you want to see that, that trailer when it hits, it's there, and you creates that excitement, and then we know when the tickets go on sale. Got to get those tickets, man. Maybe a month out, whatever. Got to get to the ArcLight. Got to be there Thursday night at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. First show at the real diehards. That's what I want. And if they can do that, and they're gonna, by the way, they're gonna have to do that with all of these movies. I mean, all of these movies are in the same boat, John. We might as well forget that they dropped that 10-minute teaser for Tenet or 6 minutes of Tenet that we saw before Joker or whatever. Forget it. Nobody knows Tenet. Like, wait, what? People have forgotten that Tenet's coming out. They have to reintroduce Christopher Nolan's new movie to the movie-going public. Everyone's forgotten about it. And they've got to do that with Wonder Woman 84. They've got to do that with Bond. They got to do it with everything. They have to remarket this movie as if they didn't market them at all.
All right, so I thought this was a really interesting situation here forming up in November. So I decided to make that the topic of today's question of the day. And I put it to you guys, and I simply asked, with Soul moving to November, who wins November? Black Widow, Godzilla vs. Kong, James Bond, or Soul? And I put this up just before we started the show. Right now, about 1,700 of you guys have responded, and overwhelmingly, 56.3% of you guys are saying Black Widow will probably win that month. A solid 28.2% of you guys are saying James Bond, No Time to Die will win the month. 9.9% of you guys are saying Godzilla versus Kong. And 5.5% of you guys are saying that it will be Pixar's Soul. So that is what you guys are saying right now. I'm going to leave that poll up for the next 24 hours or so up on my Twitter. You can go over there and cast your vote. But for now, guys, you can jump down into the comments section. Let us know. What movie out of these four do you think will win that month? Can they all do pretty well? If any of them are in trouble, which one do you think it might be? Jump down to the comments section below and leave us your thoughts.